Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have some breaking news in regard to one of the investigations into Donald Trump. There's honestly so many I've lost track, but it was just announced that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office recently convened a grand jury. So they've already been working on this. They are going to hear or have been hearing evidence of their criminal investigation into Donald Trump and his companies, possibly even his family. According to two people with knowledge of the investigation, the panel, as I said, already started meeting, and they're going to continue to meet 3 days a week for the next 6 months. So we're not going to have an answer as to what's going on, it sounds like, for about 6 months. And this is a huge move that shows that the DA believes he's found evidence of a crime or crimes. And news outlets are reporting that this type of long-term special grand jury is typically only established when the subject matter is complicated or there's a lot of information involved. And remember, a grand jury isn't like a standard jury. A grand jury doesn't go in and hear evidence and then go and vote yes or no, this person is guilty. They just review the evidence and they hear from witnesses, and then the prosecutor may or may not ask for their input as to whether or not he or she should file charges. But even if they say, no, we don't think that there's a good enough case, or we don't believe that, there's enough here that's viable, the prosecutor doesn't have to consider the grand jury's input. If the prosecutor believes there's enough to move forward with an indictment, they can still do so. They can still officially charge that person. And a former assistant DA from Manhattan said that sometimes prosecutors may even use a grand jury's power just to subpoena documents, but they're not actually at the stage where they're ready to bring charges against the subject of their investigation. However, she also said that in her opinion, impaneling a 6-month grand jury is evidence that this grand jury will be reviewing evidence and hearing from witnesses, and that they're likely to be asked to consider charges. She told the Washington Post, quote, "The prosecutors are convinced they have a case. That's at least how I read it." Now, everyone keeps talking about how Trump inflated the value of his assets to get better loans or to obtain a higher ranking on the Forbes list of the wealthiest people in the world. And then he undervalued his assets to reduce his tax liability. And it's not that I don't believe that. I 100% believe he did all of that. It's absolutely in his wheelhouse and something he would do. But I don't believe for a second that they would impanel a grand jury for 6 months and that they would need to meet 3 times a week for that entire 6 months just to explain that. That one crime isn't hard to understand, and it doesn't take a lot of documentation to prove. So this has to be far more involved and serious, in my opinion. And we also know, and this may play a part in it, that last week, the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, announced that her civil investigation into Trump and his businesses had turned into a criminal investigation, which means potential jail time for someone or some group of people. And the Attorney General is now working with District Attorney's Office. So could that have played a part? Did she maybe have information that they needed to further their case? Did they have information that helped with her investigation? Who knows? Eventually, hopefully, we'll find out. But then you add to that Trump's public freak out the other day about these investigations. And, if you add it all together, kind of sounds like he's screwed. Kind of sounds like he and maybe even his devil-spawned children may be screwed too. They're going down. I just love when Trumps are getting in trouble. It makes my bird twitch. So it sounds like everybody else who has a lawsuit against Trump better hurry up and make it happen within the next 6 months, or they may lose out. All these other people who are suing him either for the attack at the Capitol or for rape or other issues, other things that he allegedly did, they got 6 months, it sounds like. All right, guys, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.